Rebecca.
Hi, lovely to meet you, Sally.
Yeah, thank you for giving us the opportunity. Are we the first Chinese agent to interview like this?
You certainly are, yes.
Yeah, and in 2022, this is the year of the tiger. It's a very good year for us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, Chinese New Year is on my birthday this year.
Oh, really? Oh, so, wow, you're going to have a great
double
year.
celebration.
You have a great year this year, yes. So we have been to this site many times. We have successfully sold to our investors, and the achievement was amazing. But a lot of Chinese buyers still don't know that much about Hill, the developer. Would you tell us a bit more about the developer itself?
Of course. So Hill is the second largest privately owned house builder. Privately owned is important because it means that we can make decisions quickly.
Yeah.
We're not sort of reliant on the banks or private equity. And we build all over the southeast. So we've got a lot of sites in Cambridge, Oxford. We also focus on London and the home counties.
Okay.
Very exciting. We are in the middle of opening a region in Bristol.
Okay, exciting.
So covering the southwest.
Okay.
So that'll be happening over the next sort of 18 months, which is really exciting. In terms of more about the business, as I said, we're family owned. And the family are very actively involved in the business. So our chief executive is Andy Hill, and his two sons, Greg Hill is deputy chief exec, and Tom Hill is one of our regional directors, and he runs our Cambridge Investment Partnership business, which is a joint venture between Hill and Cambridge City Council.
And you mentioned that as a family-owned private business, you have a lot of flexibility. So on top of the flexibility, any other things that you think is competitive advantage, something is very different compared to the other developers? Because I know you've been in this industry for more than 20 years, very experienced. You must sing a lot, yeah.
Oh, is it that long? I think it is. Yeah, I think the benefit of being privately owned is that we can make decisions that we believe are right for the sites.
For example, when you choose this Cambridge, this particular site, what?
Well, this was a unique opportunity because it was Cambridge University.
Yeah.
We're looking to find a partner to build the residential part of Eddington. Eddington is the vision of the University of Cambridge. They have built school, they've done the village centre, and it was their sort of vision. And we came along to do the residential element. It's not your traditional construction build. They, as you can see, it's a very design-led scheme, and a lot of the big PLCs wouldn't have wanted to have done it because it did require a lot of capital outlay at the beginning to do all the infrastructure works.
Oh yeah, I've heard that, because you have to make sure the infrastructure, like for example the Sainsbury's there, you have to have that plan in place, because with other sites is you build the development first and then the rest of things they follow. So,
it's also the amount of roads and infrastructure like that you have to put in, because you have to almost put all the roads in to then put the houses in. And obviously, there's a big basement that runs under a lot of the houses in the apartments, so obviously you've got to put that basement in and all those groundworks before you can even start the construction of the houses, and obviously then selling the houses and getting any money on completion.
Okay, so for the developers this is quite inconvenient, but for the end users this is actually a much nicer option for them. They're not living in a building site and everything's already in place. You have the roads, you have the school, you have the supermarket.
We do quite a lot of these sort of schemes. We've got one down the road, Marley in Cambridge, which is a joint venture with Marshall's Motor Group, and we've just finished phase 1A there. We're building phase 1B, and phase 1A is nearly all complete. We've got about 5 houses left to complete, and then the school is due to open next September. The village centre is about to be handed over in the next few weeks, and then we're starting the fit out on the retail there. So you do have to, ideally you'd obviously get all the facilities in and then move people in, but construction-wise, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
Because you've obviously got to move people into a safe environment as well.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But what's nice is about here is that we have the flexibility to be able to do lots of different projects.
Yeah.
So we'll do a project like we had a site last year that was 8 houses in Cambridge, and then we've got big regeneration schemes that are sort of 1,500 units as well.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a real variety in the product.
Yeah. And then for the end users, what type of buyers are buying Hill products?
A real mix,
yeah.
Because of the variety of products.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we have first-time buyers, we have investors, we have second-time buyers, we have downsizers. Mm-hmm. It's a huge mix.
Do you have a lot of international buyers, such as Chinese buyers?
We have done in the last 18 months.
Okay.
I think we don't really aim our product at any one buyer.
Okay.
We aim, when we buy a site, we do a lot of market research, what would be the best product to have there, and then we very much create the best possible scheme we can. And I think that attracts every type of buyer, really.
Yeah.
Because everybody wants quality, they want good service, and that is what we aim to provide.
Quality and the service. But then since you have some Chinese buyers, what do you think are the attractive points to make these type of buyers want to buy a Hill products?
I think it's a massive, we have Mandarin and Cantonese speakers on the sales team, which I think is a massive plus, because I certainly, if I was buying a product overseas, I would want somebody that I could communicate with.
Yeah.
We'll do our utmost to help all our buyers in terms of helping them with, in a way we can, with getting finance or any legal advice they need, etc. And you know, I think we do provide a good quality product, and we do give good customer service. We have a customer journey, which we take all buyers through, whether they're UK or international, and they're looked after by our sales teams until completion, and then they move over to our customer service team.
Okay, so it's a customer journey experience.
Yeah.
Now, so all the information that I get, the concept that I have kind of match why when we were selling your product, the feedback that I get as well. So quality, especially this project, I mean, it's energy, really high energy certificate, the EPC, and also very kind of environment friendly as well. And the service was good because we are working with your team. We love working with the girls. They're super helpful.
Thank you.
Do you have some stories that you want to share? Because this is a private company. I'm sure you come across a lot of kind of unique and very personalized story that you can share.
I would say one of the things that's nice about sales point for me about the team, about Hill, is the people we employ. We call it Team Hill, Team Hill, because people genuinely, because it's the family business, because the Hills are actively involved, people really want to do a good job. They really want to do the best job they can, and you know, we very much over the last 18 months, we've spent a lot of time on our house types, really sitting with the architects, really going through the different layouts, making sure that they're as efficient as they can. You know, with people's lifestyles have changed in the UK with COVID. People are spending much more time at home. So we've like redesigned our 4-bedroom houses, certain types to put a big kitchen family dining room across the back of the house with bifold doors, because that's what people want now. And we've also spent a lot of time on our standard specifications. We actually had an interior designer come in and do them, and then obviously we've selected different tiles, etc., so that people get a really high quality streamlined looking property, and I think that's gone down really well. Buyers have been really pleased with that. I think what's quite difficult, I would imagine, living in China, being miles away, when somebody's ringing you up and saying, well, which kitchen do you want? Do you want A, B or C? Knowing that actually what you've got is something that an interior designer's chosen, and we've got lots of photography and stuff that we can show buyers. We have lots of computer generated images, lots of fly-throughs, and I think that really helps people in China make a decision as well.
So for when we're selling London developments, before the completion, most of the developers, we give the buyers 3 options, for example. So A, B and C. A is the light scheme colour, B is kind of the middle range, and C maybe is a darker scheme. So do Hill do the same thing before the completion?
We do, yeah, and we also have 2 different specifications for a contemporary specification and more of a classic specification, because obviously we have like village schemes and we have also city centre schemes, so it's just giving that different look.
When you mention the Chinese buyers, so I mean, because we have been working with the Chinese buyers for the past 10 years, I think for them, the number one concern is the quality, because they're buying in a foreign country, and especially during COVID, we're selling long distance, virtual. We are selling virtually. We sold a property last year like over 4 million, and the client didn't even visit the London property. So the number one thing they need to overcome is they need to trust the build quality and the service of the development. This is the reason I want to interview you, because last year the Wood House, you have won a number. I think you are the hot hit during that. You won a lot of prize actually. Right. Any other prize that you have won? We
did very well last year. We were very lucky. We won House Builder of the Year 2020 and 2021 with the House Builder Awards, House Builder magazine. In What House, we won House Builder of the Year 2020. We also won quite a few awards for Knights Park. We also won Best Development for our Mosaics development in Oxford. Look, we live by the ethos that, I try and make every development one that I would want to live out myself, and so do my team. So we very much, spend days and days and days going through the layouts, re-looking at the landscaping we're going to put in, all those key elements that make it a development that you want to live on. We very much, part of our ethos is that we don't just create a house or a home, we create somewhere where people will live their life. We create a community, and that's really important, because you don't want to just rush into your house and shut the door. You want to really pull up on your drive or pull into your apartment block and think, wow, I live here.
I think that's very important, because some of the developers which I know, they probably, if they are very buy-to-let investment driven, they create a space that's quite small. But the end of the day, your end user is not your buyer. It's also their tenants as well. You need to make sure that whoever lives there love the space. Then they can renew the contract. They can get it in their offer very, very soon.
Also, a lot of our tenants tend to be our next buyers. Because if they move in and rent somewhere and they love it, then 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the line.
That actually happened to our the 4-bedroom house we sold. The tenants, they like the house and they like our service, and they actually called us and they said, Sally, can you tell us more about the development? Maybe we want to live here somewhere as well. So you can turn your tenant into your buyers if the product is good. If the product is not good, nobody loves to live here. For the internal, the landscaping and everything, do you use very good interior designers? What is the criteria for you to be able to work with them?
So we use landscape designers externally. We use interior designers to do all our show homes. We've also used interior designers to do our internal specification. We use experts in each field, and then obviously our job is to manage them.
And how long, at the beginning of the interview, you mentioned that this is the second largest private company. Is that limited to the Cambridge, or you referring to the whole UK?
No, the whole of the UK.
The whole of the UK. And how long have you been in the market for, the history?
So the business was started 22 years ago now, by Andy Hill.
That's a big progress.
And it has, yeah.
Yeah.
And we have ambitious plans for the future as well.
Wow. So talk about the future, right? So what is 2022, the year of the tiger, what is your company plan? Are you going to launch new scheme?
We've got lots of new schemes coming to the market, which is really exciting. We have a 5-year business plan, and in that plan we aim to double the size of the business in the next 5 years to a sort of £1.2 billion turnover business. We have sort of already set some of the groundstones in place, as in we've built regions within the business, but those regions can take on more. And obviously we're also looking at opening a new region in the southwest, so that's likely to be based in Bristol area, and we've got quite a few developments that are in planning at the moment in that patch.
So for the region, you mean the outside of London space, or?
No, so a region is sort of the construction and development functions of the business. So it enables you to sort of grow business more quickly.
Any schemes that you're about to launch this year or in the next 5 years? Good schemes you wanna?
We've got quite a lot in planning at the moment.
So we've got which cities?
We've got a big scheme in Oxford.
That's
just about to go into planning, which is really exciting. We've also got a scheme of houses in Kent, in Cranbrook. We've got a scheme of houses in a village called Finchingfield in Essex, which is very pretty. And then we've got a lot more to come in Cambridge. We've got sort of 3 big sites in London as well. It's going to be really busy. We're
very interested in Oxford and Cambridge. We sold a house in Oxford last weekend, actually, the Chinese buyers, because of the education. So definitely we will be watching that scheme, and also because people during COVID they're moving to the outside London as well. So
I think they definitely have. I think what will be interesting is when London comes back, because it will, and it's whether that's, I don't know, some reports you read is 2023, some is 2024, but I think it will definitely come back. We're already seeing it's busier on a daily basis, and I think people who have moved out of London, I think what's difficult is, we have a lot of trainees. Each year we take on trainees, and we put them through university while they train in. We take that in construction, in technical, and you just don't learn working from home. They need to be around the sites, they need to be in meetings, etc. And so I do think that we are very much being back in the office and working, and I do think other industries are going to find they need that. They're going to need to get, we need to keep delivering more people to the workforce, and the only way people are going to learn is by working closely with people.
It's very important for the buyer, the end users as well, because COVID is really a test to all the companies in various industry. Some of the developers just keep pressing on, they keep doing what they do, they complete it roughly on time, not too much delay. They are talking about future plans. They are still doing very well. This gives enormous confidence to the buyers in China. They know if you can pull through situations like this, our investment with you will be safe. And a lot of company, unfortunately, they kind of just, didn't make it. But I'm just...
We financially, because of being a family business, we've been very careful. So we have a lot of money in the bank. We have a 200 million RCF facility, which we hadn't even drawn into. We're very secure, so buyers should be reassured by that. And we're happy to provide our annual accounts as well.
And because from what I heard, Hill isn't very international. you said your buyer is coming from all of the life, but for us, mainly selling to the Chinese buyers, we only get to know you pretty well since last year. So would you say that you're actually price-wise more kind of suitable to the local market, so good money for value?
We definitely aim for the local market, but I think because we have had sites outside of London, and I think our product appeals to international buyers, we've definitely had international interest, and that's definitely picked up in the last 18 months. We've capitalised on that, don't get me wrong. We've taken on international speakers, and we've taken on a team to deal with that, but that would be the sensible option in order to be able to provide the service we want to be able to provide to those buyers.
My last question will be, for the past 18 months you see the international buyers come to you. Are they mainly for investment or for owner-occupy?
I would say it's a real mixture.
Okay.
I would probably say it's about 60% owner-occupier.
Okay.
It's a difficult one to tell because I think a lot of people, when they buy a property, they're not 100% sure, and actually in the 2 years till it's complete they then make a decision as to whether. I think a lot of people have bought because their children will study here at some point, or they will currently living in Hong Kong. They're not sure how things are going to be in Hong Kong, and thinking, well, we might move to the UK with the BNO passport scheme.
Yeah, it's a long-term plan.
So
yeah, excellent. Thank you so much, Rebecca.
Thank you.